Here's Blues number 4, also from 1926. The French seem so very French in their music, Debussy and Ravel, by comparison with Brahms and the other German composers. And I thought, well, if the French can be so French, why can't we in America, who have invented ragtime and early jazz, why can't we do that in the field of serious music? And so it became a preoccupation of mine in the 20s and 30s to write a concert music that anyone could recognize must have been written by an American.
Copland and the 20th century began life in the same year. They have been bound in spirit ever since. He is the greatest living American composer, a happy man on his happy birthday.
What a glorious guy.
Does it have to be quite that big? I think so.
Aaron Copland has marshaled the American idiom and sent it forth as the great music of his time and his country. He has been attuned to everything that's new and has enhanced and dignified every form of communication. Copland's fanfares have celebrated the common man and the champions. His musical visions of our rodeos and our other idiosyncrasies have defined the American experience. When films were new, Copland's music helped make them complete and persuasive. Copland turned 85 last Thursday. It was the climax of a long season of celebration. He is rich in years and in honors, but surely there is nothing that could please him more than knowing that his tunes and themes are familiar to all his countrymen. He and his music are purely American and modern. This very American maestro is respected by his peers and adored by those he has led into the 20th century.
Copland is an important composer because he truly has something to say.
Michael Tilson Thomas is one of the most brilliant young men of American music, a friend and colleague of Copland's.
And it is so personal, it is so simply worked out, so forthrightly worked out, that various turns of fashion will view it one way or the other, either as miraculous or simplistic or sentimental or overly compartmentalized or visionary, but I think that through time the categories will all slip away as they have in great music of the past, and we're just left finally with the fact that here is someone who had a real vision of what note must come after another, and it had the courage to just set it down and say, folks, this is the way it has to go.
Copland is well known for his use of folk melodies in his compositions. This probably has been overstated and overlooks the real quality of his composing. He has found inspiration in his times and in this country and its heritage. His genius lies in translating mere inspiration into beautiful sound.
there's a sort of instinctive thing that goes on when you play at the piano or just read a folk tune. Can look at a folk tune and say, gee, that's a nice tune, but I could never make use of it. And then on the other hand, you find 4 notes and you think, oh, I could do something with that. I don't know, I've never been able to figure out what that's based on.
Simple Gifts was a gentle Shaker hymn. Transformed into Appalachian Spring, it probably has become eternal.
I was really putting her to music when I wrote Appalachian Spring. I'm very amused because very often people have said to me, when I hear that score of yours, I can just see the Appalachians and feel spring. The fact is, when I wrote it, I had no idea what she was going to call it. I was thinking about Martha Graham and putting her style of dancing to music, you see. But now myself, when I hear the work, I sort of see the Appalachians.
For 25 years, beginning in 1940, Aaron Copland was a guiding spirit at the Berkshire Music Center at Tanglewood. He taught and counseled most of the best American composers and conductors there. He still spends part of every summer at Tanglewood. That's because that is where the future is, where young people of music are.
Aaron, the main thing is you've got to meet these young composers because they're so wonderful. You'd be so happy if you heard their music. Well, there's one right in front of you called Paul Bradley. He's from Georgia. There's Dan Polkowski, who's incredibly talented. And there's one of the most talented, which is Bright Ching, who's just here 3 years from China. Catherine Harris. Conductors. There's a young conductor from England called Llewellyn.
Begins to look like Tanglewood.
I began as a stinky little student. You began in the faculty. So we began together in rather different capacities.
We ended up with you on the faculty and I was a student.
Sort of. You will wait till you hear the outdoor overture, which will be conducted by that girl there. This is an Israeli conductor called Giselle Woodcock, who is going to conduct the outdoor overture.
young pianist named Bennett Lerner has worked with Copland for many years. He once found a sketch of a piano piece written in 1944, and 3 years ago asked Copland to finish it. The composer did, and dedicated it to his young colleague. It is called Midday Thoughts. At the composer's suggestion, Lerner was chosen to play at the Lincoln Center birthday celebration last week. It was Lerner's New York Philharmonic debut, the highlight of his young career.
I think a man wants to become a creative artist because he feels that in using his life toward that end, he's going to get down in some tangible form which will last the basic essence of himself, the most important feelings he has, the most important thoughts, that life being so temporary and all, it feels marvelous to get something down on paper that makes you feel that you will live after your own time.